what's going on? It's In the Gym with Team MassiveJoes! USA edition, training some back and biceps, baby!
So here we are at MetroFlex, Long Beach, California.
MetroFlex LBC in the house!
With...
Well, hold on. MetroFlex LBC, home of CT Fletcher, who we just saw a mural of on the wall there in the gym.
Yes.
Home of Mr. Delts, Mike Rashid.
He's got more than delts, but he is, and Mr. W, what is he, WBFF?
WBFF Pro.
Yes.
Delts are ridiculous. Anyway, bit of a quick gym tour going on here, man. One of the most impressive fitness facilities. That's Big Rob in the house. Who are we training with, Neve?
So we're training with 5% nutrition.
Oh, I can see an arm poking out the corner of the screen there.
Rich Piana.
Could it be?
It is.
Could it be?
It is.
Speaking of Mr. Delts.
I don't think they're delts. They're some kind of growth.
Anyway, started this workout off with some lat pull-downs, man. We busted on in the gym, man. Rich said, what do you guys want to train? We said, we feel like training chest. He said, yeah, we're training back and biceps.
He did. I think whatever we chose to train, he'd throw in some kind of arm movement.
Yeah, and that's why he's got the biggest arms in the world, Nevos?
I don't think so.
No, I think that's his claim. One of his claim to fame is the biggest arms.
Yeah.
24 inches pumped, I've heard.
Nah, you see some of those.
Through the grapevine.
I hear swole bait's catching him pretty quickly though.
I'm not sure about that. Anyway, started this workout off with some lat pull-downs, man. To be honest with you viewers at home, usually in the gym we would talk to you guys about the reps and the sets and exercises and what we actually did, but I was so in awe of Rich, I can't even remember what we did.
I was so scared. I was probably meant to be spotting him, but I'm standing 3 meters back.
He's an impressive human, isn't he?
Impressive is one word. I would say very scary.
Well, and I gotta say as well, is that Big Rich with some partial reps, mate?
Getting a bit more blood in
Put
there.
a bit more, because he needs more blood in that back.
Yes.
Anyway, this workout powered by Rich Piana's pre-workout supplement called Kill It, Nevosh.
And intra-workout all day you may.
Very potent supplements from his supplement line called 5% Nutrition, available at MassiveJoes.com, of course. And then we moved in to this neutral grip seated rows with the cables.
We did.
We didn't, Nevosh?
And this was different because you and I usually either go
Close
real
grip?
wide or real close or real wide.
Yeah. And this was neutral.
Yeah, this was a completely different movement.
And look at the chest on Piana.
That's why he has to have his little goatee, because it's just bruised.
What the fuck? Seriously. I gotta say, Nevos, you're quite a solid human being, right? And walking around most gyms in Australia, back home in Australia, or even in our hometown, Adelaide, man, you walking around the gym rolling swollen. Would you concur?
I feel better about myself than I did when I was training with Rich.
I'm gonna say, Rich Piana just made you look like a little bitch.
He did. I look like I've never stepped foot. It made me look like a marathon runner.
And I gotta say here as well, man, I'm actually shocked and awed at the fact that you didn't tell me to go hit up the solarium before we trained with Big Rich.
You should not. There's no...
I'm blending into the concrete on the floor, mate.
See, the thing is, it's a shame because you dieted so long and so hard for this contest. Well, not contest, this trip.
Yeah.
And you get there and you can't see any separation.
And speaking of making you look like a little bitch, Rich just did that to me with this particular exercise. Mind you, we were lifting the same weight.
We were.
Don't get it twisted. You can rewind this bitch. You check it out, man. We lifted the same damn weight. Rich just beats me on mass and facial expressions.
I didn't think it was possible for someone to beat you with the stare, but
that's a death stare. That is one scare. I know what you're saying. You're scared now. That is one fucking scary stare going on, man.
He's scared. He just looked into my soul.
Ripped it out of you. Then we moved on to some biceps because, well, Rich needs to train more biceps. Yeah. And started off with these, what is this here? Is this, I don't even know what this was.
It's a bit like an Arnold concentration curl, but
with a cable.
With a cable and not quite concentrate on the knee. I'm not really sure what it is.
Yeah, it was different, but Rich wanted to do it and we didn't argue. He gave us a death stare.
But we have to mention though, there's a scary motherfucker but he's probably one of the nicest dudes to talk to, though.
Yeah, I would go so far as to say, Neve, and we were, with this particular tour in the US, man, we were lucky enough to meet and collaborate and train with some of the biggest icons in the fitness industry. And I got to say, Rich Piana is one of those guys that looks angry and scary and just one boss mother. But in actual person, he was very nice and very quietly spoken.
And also,
wasn't he?
More than happy to do an interview for us as well, which I'm assuming will be on the YouTube channel at some stage.
Of course. All of his bits and pieces will be on the YouTube channel. But just a really nice guy.
Didn't you two head down to Long Beach and get some ink after this?
Well, actually, there were two things we did after this because Rich made me feel incredibly insecure. The first thing was go down to Long Beach and hit up the Solly.
Get a solarium on.
And the second
Is that a vein in the tricep?
The second thing was hit up a tattoo parlor and get myself some ink, mate.
Came back covered.
I wouldn't go so far as to say covered. Let's go with I got my first tattoo.
God, I need to get on something solid before next trip, Joe. He's making me look like a... Look at that. It's just...
I gotta say, this is one of the most depressing in the gyms we've ever done. For you and I, for our egos,
why didn't you
crushed.
You're telling me you should have gone and got a tan before the workout. Why didn't you pat on my shoulder halfway through and ask me to go
leave,
drink a mass game, or lie under a bus?
But I'm gonna say, like training, like, when we were actually lifting, I was kind of like, Rich was doing the weights, I was doing the same weights.
Yeah.
Rich was looking in the mirror, looking swole. I was looking in the mirror, I thought I was looking alright. Come watch the video. Different story.
No
mate.
muscle whatsoever.
Different kettle of fish. Anyway, hit up some hammer curls, man. Working on the brachialis, and then we hit. This is a cool machine, actually, Nevos.
It was very different.
It was a preacher curl machine, but with the cables.
Yeah. So I mean, generally you'd have obviously there's heaps of either pin loaded.
Preacher curl machines.
Preacher curl, which is more just the straight bar, or you've just got your preacher curl, which you do with the free weight barbell and dumbbells.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this one was with the weight plates in front.
Yeah, and look at the sweat dripping off Piana onto the preacher bench there as well, mate. Yeah. We're working hard. It was hot in MetroFlex LBC. It must have been damn near 45 Celsius, 130 Fahrenheit in his bench.
It would have been about 35. It was 9 a.m. in the morning.
Lucky we trained on it, because it would have been real. You got a bit of a cough there, Nicholas.
I just realised as I coughed for.
Did you just cough all of your confidence out as well, mate?
The last ounce of confidence.
Anyway, finish this workout off with some high cable bicep curls, man. You can actually see a little bit of vascularity there. Just a touch.
Just a touch. Hopefully. We'll try and get Delp to put a bit of a filter on this video for us.
We'll try our best. Possibly a tan filter. And then Rich obviously finished off as well, man. Look at the size of the 24-inch guns on Rich Piana.
The delts are actually the size of his head. Like, people joke about delts being the size of people's heads.
Yeah.
His delts are actually the size of his head.
I'm actually a big fan of his tattoos, man. I'm not a big tattoo person, but he's got some pretty nice looking tats. They flow well. They flow all over and shit, you know? You know, some people get tats and they just don't flow. It's like, what the f did you put that on your arm for? Rich's tats flow.
They get a picture of like a house and then
anyway, sipping on that there all day you may from 5% Nutrition, man. Make sure you go check out Rich Piana's 5% Nutrition. Link in the description box down below. Boom! Most muscular Piana style. Boom! I don't know what that pose is.
The scary
but hold on, the side chest is coming. Boom! Why don't you hit a side chest next to Big Rich and Evos?
This by the stage I was crying in the corner.
Guys, hit the subscribe button. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, man. Stay up to date with all the latest editions of In the Gym with Team MassiveJoes, where we coming to them from Neve.
MassiveJoes.com.
Stay massive.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Rich Piana here from 5% Nutrition. The best place in Australia to get my product, 5% Nutrition, is MassiveJoes. Stay massive.